Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. New students, class of 2024, families, we are just so happy to have you joining us today. I'm Adriana Mirabelli. I'm one of your 2020 orientation directors, and I'm so excited to welcome you to Hope this year. I just wanted to let you know that Cam and I have been planning for this all summer since May. And despite all of the circumstances, despite the pandemic, everything that we have all been experiencing this year, you have all been on our hearts and on our minds throughout 2020, and we are just so happy that you are here, whether that is here in Holland on Hope's campus, at home, in another country. We are all here together, and we are just so glad that we are able to make this happen. Cam and I have been planning for this all summer, and to be completely honest, we had no idea what orientation would look like, whether it would be in person, face-to-face, virtual, on campus. We had no clue, and it has been quite a learning experience, and we are just very happy that we are able to still continue to make this happen. We are incredibly excited for you to start your journey here at Hope and to begin your Hope story and engage in the community here. It is a phenomenal place, and we hope that you find your home. And so with that being said, I would love to welcome our very own President Skogen.
Thanks, Adriana, and thanks to you and Cam for all the work that you've put in to make the orientation in these pretty unusual circumstances as successful as it has been. Students, we are so glad that you're here. As Adriana said, we've been working so hard all summer to prepare for this moment, and it's here, it's arrived, and you're here with us. Most of you are here with us, and we are so excited about that. As Adriana said, my name is Matt Skogen. I've just started my second year as president of Hope College. I live here in a house right on campus. I'm standing on the front porch of our home. We live on 10th Street, right between Durfee Hall and Voorhees Hall, and across the street from Cook Hall. So we're here with you, and we're here with you 24/7, and we love that. That's one of my favorite parts about the job, is being right here on campus with all of you. I live with my wife, Sarah. She and I are both 2002 graduates of Hope College. In fact, we met during our freshman year at Hope College. We have 3 young kids. Sophie is in 7th grade, Lucy is in 5th grade, and Oliver is in 2nd grade. We also have a dog named Albertus. We call him Albie for short. He's named after Albertus Van Raalte, who was the founder of Hope College. And so we are so excited to have you here. I can't wait to meet you. I've got to meet a few of you, but I look forward to meeting those of you who I have not yet met. And I'm just excited. I know that we can't all be together in the same room, at least for now, but most of us are now within a few block radius of each other, and it feels good. It feels so good to be together, even though we're not physically together. And I actually think that your class, the class of 2024, will bond in a deeper way and a quicker way because of this shared experience that you're going through. I know, by the way, and I want to say a special word to those of you who cannot be here in person, those of you who will be participating in our semester remotely, you're here too. You are a part of this community, you're a part of this class of 2024, and we will make this the best experience for you that we possibly can. And I honestly, I'm excited for your class, the class of 2024. In some ways, I'm even jealous of your class because, as I said, I do think that you will have the chance to bond in a deeper way and in a quicker way than any other class in the history of Hope College. On Monday, when we start classes, that will mark the 159th time that we have opened our college for a new academic year. And we've opened our college in the middle of a lot of unprecedented times over those 159 years. We've opened in the middle of the Civil War, the World Wars, the Great Depression, the Great Recession. We've opened in the middle of 40 different presidential election cycles, but we've never opened in the middle of anything quite like this. So you're making history with us. And as I said, I think that will allow your class, the class of 2024, to bond in a deeper way, in a quicker way than any other class here in our history. I want to say a couple of quick things. First of all, I know that the transition to college is a scary time and in some ways an overwhelming time. I remember my transition to college when I was here as a freshman 22 years ago. And I remember being on campus for the first few days and weeks and just feeling overwhelmed. And so if that's the way you're feeling, if you're feeling overwhelmed, I want to say to you, that's normal. That's the normal way to feel. It is an overwhelming transition in a lot of ways, but just be patient with yourself. It won't be long before you find yourself with deep and long-lasting friendships, and this place will soon feel like home. So, but it'll take some time. It'll take some time. So just be patient with yourself. I know that there's a lot of things about this semester that are going to be unpleasant and unfun, face masks and distancing and all the things that we have to do. And I want to say thank you in advance for your participation in this with us. It will be all of us doing these things together that will allow us to get through the semester in person. So thank you for your participation. I want to say a few words to the family. I know that there are a range of emotions that you're feeling right now. I simply want to say thank you for entrusting your students to us. We do not take that lightly. And I promise that we will take good care of your students. And we're honored. We are honored to spend what will in the end be a very brief 4-year period of their lives. We're honored to get to spend that time with your students and journey with them as they discover passions and enter into their field of study and help them learn together. We're honored to spend part of their faith journey with them and help them deepen their relationship with God. And we're honored to spend a period of time discerning their God-given calling together. So thank you to all of our families for entrusting your students with us. I hope that you're among the range of emotions that you're feeling. I hope one of them is pride. You should be proud of your students. I haven't gotten to know many of our first-year students on an individual basis yet, but I have gotten to know this group of students, the class of 2024, on a macro basis. And as a class, this class is an incredibly impressive class. And I will say that I am proud to have this class here at Hope College. Let me just name a few things that are impressive and special about this group of students. First of all, you represent 27 different states and 15 different countries. You come from as far away as Hawaii, Indonesia, Cameroon, Nepal, the Philippines, Thailand, China, lots of other places. Some of you, I know, don't come from very far, and that's great too. We're excited to have you here. In fact, 4 of you come from my hometown, Portage, Michigan, and I'm excited to have Portage, Michigan represented here with us. We have students who are star athletes. We have students who are state and national level athletic champions. We have Eagle Scouts. We have talented musicians and artists. We have 4 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets in the class of 2024. We have a student who's a documentary movie producer, and this is my favorite. This is my favorite by far. We have 2 students whose first name is Hope, and we have 1 student whose last name is Hope. And you know that we love the name Hope. We think that hope is the thing that our world desperately needs right now. And we use the word hope here at Hope College the way that the Bible uses the word hope. The world throws around the word hope, and it either gets lost in platitudes or it gets diluted down because people use the word hope as a substitute for a wish. You know, people say, I hope the weather is good tomorrow. Well, they're saying, I wish the weather would be good tomorrow. I don't know what it is. We don't know what the weather will be tomorrow for certain, but we're hoping that the weather is good tomorrow. Well, the way the Bible uses the word hope is different. It's not a wish. Rather, it's a confident expectation that something good is going to happen. And we know that that's true. Because as Christians, we've read to the end of the book. We know how the story ends. We know how history ends. And that means that no matter how scary things can get here in the middle of history, we know that it's all going to turn out for good in the end. And that confidence about the future, the promise that God gives us that the future will be better than the present, that promise allows us to experience the present better, even if it's a scary time, even if it's an uncertain time like it is right now. So we love the word hope. And at the end of the day, as an institution, that's what we stand for. Thank you so much for being here. We are so glad to have all of you here, and I cannot wait to get to meet you. So with that, I will turn it over to Cam, and I look forward to meeting you in person very soon.
Thank you, President Skogen. I know that I have been so thankful for your leadership throughout this time, so thank you for being willing to speak to our new students. Next up, we're going to have our new students speak to you guys, Dr. Richard Frost. He joined Hope College in 1989 and is the vice president of the Dean of Students. He graduated from Luther College and received his MA and PhD from Michigan State University. He enjoys teaching his first-year seminar course for freshmen based on a journey towards leadership. Maybe some of you guys have that class right now. And is passionate about having the opportunity to walk alongside students as they learn, grow, and deepen their faith during their college journey. He lives in Holland with his wife, and they have 3 children, 2 of whom are Hope graduates. So take it away.
Okay, it's great to have you here. I'm an emotional person. I'm excitable. So for me to contain myself is really hard. And so if I move around on the screen, it's because I'm excited that you're all here. When Hope College does not have our students, and when you are not here, it is like an empty high school in summer, or an empty stadium, or an empty church. It's without its people. For me and for Hope College, our people are our students. So for all of you to come in and join us as part of our Hope family, you are our people. And now we have our energy, we have vitality, we are excited, and we are ready. But what's most important is that Hope has always been about their students. And I have been here a long time, and I can go back year upon year and say those students are what made Hope the college it is today. Each of you, prior to coming to Hope, has been successful. President Skogen said it very well. All the things that you've achieved and accomplished, you are truly remarkable. But this is a new chapter. This is a chapter where you get to invest and then decide where you're going to go and what you're going to do. Our work, not just your work, but our work, the faculty, the staff, and the students together build these journeys in a way which is going to fulfill your dreams and your hopes. This is going to happen in academics. It's going to happen with your faith. And it's going to happen when you can develop lifelong relationships. This will be hard. Hope is a hard school. Some of you who've been straight 4-point students may get lesser of a grade. Those of you who got less grades may get 4 points. I don't know. But what I do know is that this is your chance to start a new chapter. This is your chance to say, who do I really want to be? And together we can do that. What's important to understand for me as well is that none of us live in life on an island. You know, I can't read your mind and your faculty can't read your mind. Please let us know how we can help you. Please let us know how we can care for you. One of the things that I understand about students is as President Skogen said, this is a different day. Each of you are here because of all the things that your families have given you, your teachers have given you, your coaches have given you, your friends have given you, and now you're with us. We are those people that now want to walk alongside of you. We are those people that want to make sure that you thrive and become your best. You know, I pledge that I'm going to try to be my best as I learn through you and as I teach into you. But those are those things that we do together as a community. One of the things we know about Hope is we are a community. We are a family that cares for one another. We are also a family that has differences, but we do that through care and respect towards one another. These are things that are really important to us as a college. To families across the United States and around the world, like President Skogen says, we understand that these are your most precious possessions. We understand that we have a responsibility to earn our place with each of you and with your student. We take this really seriously, and we take this as our prime responsibility to you. This is an investment. It's an investment of time, it's an investment of talent and gifts and resources. And we know we need to provide a return on that investment. My thinking and where I'm at is that my commitment to each of you as students is that these 4 years, if you invest wisely together with us, will lay a foundation for a lifetime of giving, a lifetime of serving, and a lifetime of relationships. Just recently, I received an email from a student who's been gone for 15 years, and he is filling me in on his life. And he said, I look back on those 4 years at Hope as the foundation of who I am today. I have gone through my ups and downs, and I have struggled. But because I had my faith, because I had the intellect that Hope developed, I was able to thrive through some really difficult challenges. He is now completing a PhD and is getting ready to start a new career. This is what you have a chance to do. Recognize that things are not always going to fit into the tidy boxes that we'd like. Life is about that. God is about that. God doesn't promise us everything we want. What God promises is the opportunity to walk with him, lean into him with faith and hope, and we can thrive together. For me, I'm really excited. It's really going to be hard for me because I have to wear my mask, and I will wear my mask. But I'm about you as students. I'm about you and all you want to be. You're going to hear from some other students this morning who reflect the kinds of things we do. Again, I want to circle back to the beginning. When you are not here, Hope is a shell of itself. When you are here, we thrive, we blossom. We are what we are meant to be. These students are reflective of who you will be once you begin your journey at Hope. So to Cam and Adriana and to Katie and Ellen and all the staff of orientation who've done a great job, I want to thank them. To moms and dads and families, wherever you are, thank you for allowing us to walk with your students. And to you as students, welcome to Hope, and let's go.
Thank you so much, Dean Frost, for your wisdom and speaking on the transformative experience that students have at Hope. Our next speaker is our Student Congress President, Luke Rufenacht. Luke is a junior from Quincy, Michigan, studying political science and business. At Hope, he's involved in Student Congress, is part of the Arcadian Fraternity, Dance Marathon, Nykirk Play, and is a former Durfee residential assistant. So Luke, take it away.
Thanks, Adriana. Hello, class of 2024. My name is Luke Rufenacht, and I'm the student body president for this year. It's truly an honor to be before you today and welcome you into this Hope community. This truly is a life-changing place. This occasion marks 2 years since I was in your seats, and this opportunity to speak before you today has inspired me to think a little bit about my years here at Hope and what has really made it life-changing. After thinking about it, I began to realize that being open to new relationships and new experiences has really been at the heart of my time here at Hope. For the past year, my go-to Bible verse has really been Romans 12:2. It's one of those verses that is really applicable to anyone, Christian or not. It says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And through testing, you can discern what is God's will, what is good, acceptable, and perfect." For me, this means not buying into the status quo, not following the crowd, embracing the uncomfortable, trying new things, and creating friendships with people you wouldn't have been friends with in high school. That way, we can discern what is good, acceptable, and perfect. In high school, I lived in a bubble. I graduated with 72 students. I played football, ran track, was president of my class, was in student council, was in my student section, and basically had the same friend group from second grade on. I was calm, low-key, and I loved staying in that bubble of activities and friends that I was a part of. It has always worked for me, and so I figured I would never change it. But coming to Hope, I came here not knowing a single person. I still remember thinking, if I don't like it here this semester, I'll just transfer to MSU second semester of my freshman year and be with my friends that go there. Coming to college is intimidating. And for me, it was scary. I was coming here having to make a whole new group of friends and having to join organizations that I had no connection with. And on top of that, I was living in Durfee Hall, which from what I had been told was not calm and was not low-key like I was in high school. But with nothing to fall back on, not even a pattern to conform to, I had to reach out and try and experience life differently than what I was used to. So I got on campus, and sure enough, it was weird and I was uncomfortable. I mean, my first night in my dorm, there were 50 guys running through my hallway in their underwear telling me to get outside and take my pants off. The student organizations that were here were different than what I was used to in high school. And the only interaction that I had had with the guys in my dorm was, well, when we were in our underwear running around campus. It was weird, it was odd, it was different, but it was the only thing I had to work with. I found as time went on, I began to love that Durfee community that I had been placed in. Enough to come back for my sophomore year as an RA. I found student groups that I loved, like Student Congress and Nykirk, the latter being something that I would never be a part of. And those guys that I had only seen in their boxers running around campus became some of my best friends after a few weeks. I began to discern what was good, what was acceptable, and I found that the things that I did in high school were okay, but the community, the relationships, and the organizations that I found here at Hope were perfect. This is what makes Hope what it is, the willingness to step out of your comfort zone with the expectation that something good is going to come. So I challenge you, go make friends who you didn't go to high school with. Join an organization that you wouldn't have done in high school. Join a community that you've never been experienced to. Give these people in this campus a chance, because to find what is good, acceptable, and perfect, you must have a greater understanding of the whole. Go get coffee and sit on a pillar lawn with someone new. Go to Phelps with someone in your class. Play Frisbee in the Pine Grove with your dorm mates. This school is filled with people who have stories to tell and experiences to share. Embrace the opportunity to grow with each other. That way you can determine what is good, acceptable, and perfect in your own eyes. So again, welcome to this community. Be intentional, be open, and have hope. And with that, I'm going to throw it back over to Cam.
Thank you, Luke, for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it. Next up, we have Julia Lola. She is a senior from Chicago studying biochemistry and molecular biology on the pre-med track. She's involved in campus ministries, Into the Light Project, Ready for Life, and works in the chemistry department. And she's going to talk to you guys about academic success.
Thank you, Cam, and hello, everyone. My name is Julia Lola, like Cam said, and I'm a senior studying biochemistry and molecular biology, and I'm on the pre-med track. I'm so excited and honored to be able to talk to you all today. When I started college, I had always heard that it's the best 4 years of your life, but nobody ever told me that it doesn't come without its challenges. The beginning of college is full of transitions, from a new home, new friends, new opportunities, and a new level of academics. These will all end up being great things, but they do take some time to get used to. To be honest, when Cam and Adriana asked me to speak on transitioning to college academics, I was a little surprised because there are students with better grades and definitely ones with better study habits than myself. Although that's always going to be true in life, and it's just as important in college when you're surrounded by such gifted and talented people to not compare yourself to others and never underestimate yourself. Coming into college, I had always heard that my high school prepared me well for college, and I don't doubt that to be true, but honestly, first semester freshman year brought with it many challenges for me. I was taking a fairly heavy course load, including every pre-med's favorite intro bio, and I also had a lot of health issues to deal with. That semester, I got the least amount of sleep as I was still trying to figure out how to prioritize friends, classes, and extracurriculars. Oh, and to top it off, I somehow got mono during finals week. Don't worry, I wasn't kissing anybody. I'm not saying all this to scare you guys, but to be real with you. And to let you know that if you feel like you're the only one who's struggling, you are not alone. I learned a lot that semester, and one of the most important lessons I learned is to reach out to others, whether that's your advisor, professors, or your peers. There's nothing like friendships that were formed over staying up until 2 a.m. working on a lab report or paper or studying for an exam together. Although I don't necessarily recommend that either. Going off of that, I recommend making friends in your classes. So you have people to study with, ask questions of, or simply someone that understands. I'm someone who generally works better on their own, but you can learn a lot from others. Another piece of advice is to figure out how you study best personally. Many of us didn't have to study much in high school and still did great, but that likely won't be the case in college. I remember my first intro bio lab exam, I procrastinated, so I didn't have time to study. Let's just say it didn't go too well, and for all the OAs and upperclassmen listening who took that class, you know what I'm talking about. Although it was discouraging, I went over it with my professor and actually studied the next time and did so much better. You will have bad exams or assignments in college, and I still do, but that doesn't mean you still can't do well. It's okay, even good, to make mistakes, and remember to give yourself some grace when you do. We all know this, but let me remind you that we can often learn the most from our mistakes. To offer some more practical advice, one of my personal favorite study habits is to make a study sheet with all of the key information from my notes that I need to know. That way it's all in one spot, and writing it out again helps me remember it. Also, always take advantage of practice exams or questions or things like that if a professor offers them. These tips do come from more of a STEM background, but I think they can be applied in many other areas as well. On top of exams, you will also have assignments, papers, lab reports, and more in college. So learning how to manage your time and prioritize is so important. I probably shouldn't recommend this, but I often work best under pressure when I'm writing specifically. Would I say it's a good idea to write most of your 20-page neurochemistry research paper the day before it's due? Probably not. I probably shouldn't have admitted that, but even though it was very stressful, it worked for me. It's all about finding what works best for you, and that likely won't be the same as your friends, and that's okay. One of the most important pieces of advice I have is to get to know your professors and ask them questions. That's part of their job, after all. Hope has so many amazing professors, and the advantage of going to a small school is that you can actually get to know them. Take advantage of office hours and don't be afraid to ask questions. Trust me, it doesn't make you seem less intelligent, but it shows that you care. Be curious about your classes. That will help you perform better too. I also find more of a motivation to do well in a class when I actually know the professor. Your professors not only want to help you academically, but also in life. I've had so many conversations with profs, whether it was about my faith, my future career, or so many other things that I will always remember and that have been so significant in my life. Finally, find something completely outside of academics that you're passionate about. Whether that's a student organization, and we have so many amazing ones, a job off campus or on campus, or some sort of volunteer opportunity. It's so important to take a step away from classes, clear your mind, and be filled up in a different way. I find that I'm a better person, more myself, and a better student when I actually take that time, even if I don't feel like I have it in the moment. I remember as a freshman looking at the seniors and thinking it was so far away and that they had it all figured out. And now that I am that, I can assure you, we definitely don't. Although you will grow a lot. Throughout these next few years, you will explore different majors, figure out what you're passionate about, and probably change your major 5 times or more before figuring out what you actually want to study. You will also take classes that excite you, classes that maybe bore you, classes that challenge you, and classes that you will definitely remember for the rest of your life. And you may be surprised what classes those end up being. You will get to know so many amazing professors, make friends with your classmates, and have late night study sessions, and possibly get to know the amazing custodians in the Science Center as well when you're studying there way after hours. There's no doubt this semester will look different with its own unique challenges, but I have no doubt that each of you will succeed and learn to love college life and academics. I hope you find that thing that you want to pursue for the rest of your life, that major or career or topic that you could just talk about for hours, and allow your classes, the people you meet, and all of the opportunities available to you to help you find that. And especially with the uncertainty we're facing right now, don't forget to seek out others. Whether it's an upperclassman, a professor, a friend, or even myself, we are all here for you and cheering you on. Thank you, and with that, I will turn it over to Adriana.
Thank you so much for joining us, Julia. Your words were incredibly inspirational, and I'm sure that there are so many people on this call that will take something from what you said. So our next speaker is Amari Brown. She is a senior from Grand Rapids, Michigan, studying social work. She is deeply involved in the Center for Diversity and Inclusion and has served on the Black Student Union's exec board since her freshman year. She'll be speaking on openness to new people and experiences. So take it away, Amari.
Thanks, Adriana. Hi, everyone. Like was just said, my name is Amari, and I'm a senior studying social work. I was so excited when Cam and Adriana asked me to speak about openness to new things and new people, mostly because that's kind of my thing. You see, even my choice to come to Hope was in large part based in the desire to open myself up to newness, and in that same vein, put myself out there to possibly be the new person with a different experience, not only for other students, but for an entire institution. I went to high school in this pretty awesome bubble of diversity called East Kentwood High School. We are ranked the most diverse school in Michigan in all aspects: language, country of origin, socioeconomic status, and we also rank amongst the top schools in the nation in diversity. This is something I often took for granted, thinking that most places were just the same as Kentwood. However, as I began my college search, I realized that I was wrong. Most places were not like Kentwood at all. However, being exposed to different people with different backgrounds gave me intangible skills that will be with me for life. I took all of these things into account as I continued my college career. And I'll let you all in on a little secret. Hope was not initially my dream school. My dream school was Spelman College. And for those of you who may not know, Spelman is a historically Black institution and also an all-women's college. The idea of getting my education surrounded by such rich history and culture and dynamic women who understood exactly what it was like to be me sounded amazing. However, around the time I got accepted to Spelman, I started to realize the impact I wanted to have on the world. I wanted to help change the messed up things, disrupt antiquated systems, and be a voice for people who didn't have one. It occurred to me that I really had the chance to make a difference at a place where my life experience were very different than most other students. So when presented with the opportunity to come to Hope, I saw it as a time to challenge myself and, crazy as it may sound, challenge the institution to be even better for its students and better for people who were not necessarily thought of when PWIs like Hope were created. So I dove into this new experience completely headfirst and with reckless abandon. The girl who grew up primarily around people of color ended up at a very white institution. I grew up with brothers and spent my first semester in Hope College's all-girls dorm. I also grew up in pretty traditional Black Baptist churches, so chapel was a huge adjustment. All this to say, Hope was far outside of my comfort zone, and it forced me to open myself up to new people and new experiences. I won't lie, this isn't always an easy task. It was uncomfortable and it stretched me. However, I met people and learned things that I would not have otherwise, and I'm grateful for that. This completely new environment allowed me to explore my own identity as a Black woman by being heavily involved in the Black Student Union and helping to co-found Women of Color United, while also learning about new cultures and experiences from my own friends and other multicultural student organizations. I noticed that when people resist opening up to new people and experiences, it often seems to be driven by a fear of losing yourself in the newness. However, I'm glad to share that losing myself in the newness was quite the opposite of what I experienced here. I am more secure in my identity than I have ever been. Newness can be uncomfortable, and there are many times when I do feel uncomfortable. The choice to come to a place so different from my usual came with its rough patches. But it is my belief that we have to put ourselves in new situations to grow. You can't change your preconceived notions about people if you never spend time with them. I believe that the shift that we have seen in the way we talk about racial injustice has shown the importance of sacrificing comfort for better understanding of new people and their experiences. Not only is it good to expose yourself to diverse people and experiences, it is necessary. College is the perfect time to do that. So, join a club you never thought you would with people you don't normally hang out with. Go listen with the pure intention of taking a new perspective. Many people think that multicultural student organizations, which are also referred to as MSOs, are only open to people from those specific communities. But as you are starting, I want you to know that they are open to everyone. Those organizations, Latino Student Organization, Pan-African Student Association, Asian Student Union, Black Student Union, and others have brought me many lasting friendships, mentors, new perspectives, and knowledge, and appreciation of different people and their experience. So I would love to challenge you to branch out as you begin school. It obviously looks a lot different this year, but that's all the more reason to make new connections. If you ever need anything, please feel free to reach out. I hope to see you all around, and good luck with your first year. And with that, I will throw it back to Cam.
Thank you so much, Amari. We appreciate you being here and sharing your experience. Next up, we have Reese Yount. He is a senior from Holland, Michigan, majoring in biology and minoring in religion. He's involved in campus ministries, the sailing team, outdoor adventure club, and residential life. And he's going to talk to you about invitational faith at Hope College.
Thank you, Cam. What's up, class of 2024? As she said, my name is Reese, and I'm a senior at Hope, currently studying biology with a religion minor. I've been asked by fellow students, Cam and Adriana, to share a little bit about Hope's invitational faith and what that looks like. So Hope is a very special place in that it offers plenty of faith and growth opportunities without it necessarily being required. Ranging from their student and faculty-led small groups to chapel to one-on-one mentorships with some of the best and most dedicated individuals you'll ever meet. Hope Campus Ministries, team really has a lot to offer. However, I don't know if you guys like me, when you were looking at Hope College, you were looking at, Trinity, maybe Wheaton or Calvin. A lot of those institutions have mandatory chapel, but the thing at Hope is it's completely up to the students to own their own faith. So a little bit about my background. I came to Hope from a private Christian high school where chapel was required 3 days a week, and it wasn't uncommon to have teachers lead prayer in class. I had grown up in a school system my entire life, and because of that, going to Hope's chapel 3 times a week wasn't anything new to me. What was new to me, however, was the fact that it actually wasn't mandatory. I'll be the first to admit that my freshman year, I wasn't a regular at Hope's chapel services, choosing instead to either take a 20-minute nap, which was worth it, or to play, Fortnite with my roommates. Fast forward to sophomore year, and I started to go to chapel a bit more and look a little more into just what Hope's Campus Ministries actually had to offer. But it wasn't until my junior year that I really started to take more ownership of my faith and what it meant to be a son of Christ on Hope's campus. On top of making chapel a priority, a good friend of mine named Lucas and I decided to be small group leaders through Hope's Campus Ministries. So every Sunday night, Lucas and I, along with other small group leaders, met with our mentors, Rob and Riley, to discuss life, read scripture, and just pray for one another. Then following later that week, Lucas and I would meet a group of guys from all across campus, ranging across all 4 years of Hope. So freshman to senior, and together we would just take an hour, read scripture, and try to mentor each other, speak into each other's life, and pray for each other. I believe that even though Lucas and I were called to lead that group, we got just as much, if not more, out of it as those guys did. I met more strong Christian men and women my junior year than across my first 2 years combined. The coolest thing about it is that we had people from all different backgrounds of faith. Once a week, we would have really honest conversations about what faith does and should look like on Hope's campus. It is one thing to be preached at once a week on Sunday, or to go chapel and just let it roll right over your head. I myself am a prolific daydreamer, and more often than not, I find myself kind of droning on, listening to chapel speakers, but not really listening. But there's something truly special when you go to that campus ministries building once a week of your own accord to meet with guys and just talk about faith. You'll not be judged. In fact, different opinions are even encouraged. And I have always believed that people who never allow their faith to actually be challenged may end up with weak faith. If I have one regret going into my senior year at Hope, it is that I didn't get involved with campus ministries earlier on, especially my freshman year. I have met more real, long-lasting friends who have pushed me to be the best that I can be than I have in any other student organization. And that's not to knock other student organizations. I'm a part of a lot. I love each and every one of them. There's just something special about Hope Campus Ministries. If I could give you guys any advice, it would be this. Don't wait to take ownership of your faith till junior year like I did. There'll be that temptation, especially as a freshman, as you kind of get reorientated into Hope's campus and try to figure out, where you fit in, where do you belong, to just throw your faith on the back burner. I would really encourage you not to do that. Like, if you need to do that for the first couple of weeks, I get that, but don't let it be 2 years like I did. Even this year with COVID going on, especially affecting everything, it's going to be different. We are going to have campus ministries, small groups still. We were assured of that last week. It's going to be little smaller groups with masks, but we're going to make it work. And I still believe that people are going to get a lot out of it. I do believe that there's no better place than campus ministries to find good friends and mentors to do life with. And I believe that those relationships will far outlast your time even at Hope College. Thank you. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Adriana.
Thank you so much, Reese, for speaking on your experiences with faith here at Hope. Our next speaker is Mo Durantes, and she's going to be speaking on involvement here. She is a senior from East Michigan, studying Spanish and is on the pre-med track. She's involved in the Alpha Gamma Phi sorority, student congress, Nykirk oration, and residential life. So take it away, Mo.
Hello, class of 2024. I hope you're all somewhat excited about being here because we're really excited about having you here. So as Adriana said, my full name is Montserrat Durantes, but a lot of people call me Mo around campus. So feel free to call me that if you see me around or just want to say hi. I might not know your face right now, but I would love to get to know all of you guys. So feel free to just say hi and get to know me, and I'll get to know you. And I know the circumstances right now are so difficult and so different for this upcoming year, but we're still super, super excited to have you all here and joining part of the Hope community. The next 4 years are, like a lot of people have said before, going to change your life. So get ready to start enjoying every moment from here on out. And I know that the situation might not be completely ideal, but let's just deal with what we have. I know COVID has completely flipped your freshman year upside down, but you're still here. So let's just try and enjoy and see where the year takes us, because Hope has so much amazing things to offer. And I'm just very excited for you guys to be able to enjoy your freshman year here on campus. College is a place where you'll find your forever people, your future career, and develop yourself as a person. I know that's a lot to fit into 3 years, but it's definitely doable, and almost a lot of people do it. So for me, the past 3 years have taught me more than I could even ever imagine. My freshman year, I decided to become involved in almost absolutely everything. I literally went around the activities fair and signed up for a bunch of clubs that I was like, okay, maybe I'd be interested in that. And I got the emails, but then slowly I started to weed down which ones I really wanted to be a part of and which ones weren't exactly my style. I joined Nykirk on a whim and became the odd year orator my freshman year. I'm sorry, but odd year every year. And now I'm co-coaching freshmen and sophomores in oration with one of your OE leaders, Kim. I also began to do some undergraduate research and found a professor who became my lifelong mentor. I started a group called Women of Color United with some friends like Amari, and to this day, we have created an amazing community with strong women of color, some of which are housemates now. My sophomore year, I had the privilege of becoming an RA, and now I am a neighborhood coordinator and part of the student leadership team for residential life. This is really awesome to me because it really taught me how to be a professional, but also how to be vulnerable in your workspace. I also took a huge leap and joined Alpha Gamma Phi sorority, where I met some of my closest friends, like your other OA leader, Adriana, and learned the value of what it means to be in a community and a sisterhood. I began to form also a community with the Covenant Scholars, the scholarship that I am on, to be able to foster within this group a lot of leadership and also build relationships with some of you even on this call. So all the freshman Covenants, hi, how are you? My junior year, I think I took one of the biggest leaps of my college career, and I accepted the position as the Chief of Culture and Inclusion for Student Congress, which is part of the exec board. I'd never been on Student Congress before, and this is a completely new experience for me. But I decided that it was important for me to take it because the students of color and the underrepresented students on this campus needed a louder voice than what they already had. I got to work with amazing people like Luke, Dean Frost, and President Skogen, and this helped me to further explore my identity as a woman of color and change the way that Hope talked about diversity. I pushed barriers and asked difficult questions, which I will continue to do this year, knowing that this might be the hardest year to do so. I've had so many great opportunities and experiences, all because I put myself out there freshman year. I decided to join as many things as I could and open up my horizons as much as possible to be able to have the fullest college experience. I have also met some awe-inspiring people and friends that have changed my life forever, and I know that they're going to be in my life for the rest of it. So I'm going to give you probably the best advice that I could give you, knowing that everything is really, really up in the air right now, and a lot of you might feel overwhelmed, confused, scared, nervous, anxious. But the best advice I can give you is to put yourself out there, because these are going to be the best years of your life. Even if you're shy, worried about not fitting in, pushing outside your comfort zone, just rip the Band-Aid off and go for it, because that's the best thing you could possibly do. Have conversations with upperclassmen, stay up late and talk to your roommates, take a spontaneous trip to the beach after class, go on donut runs, hang out in the Pine Grove. So many amazing things that will create memories that will last forever. So truly enjoy these next 4 years, because as a senior, I can tell you that they go by so much faster than you think. So your journey begins here. Savor every moment of it. And with that, I will throw it back to Kim.
forgot to unmute. Thanks, Coco. So that's the end of our new student opening session. Very quickly here at the end, I just want to invite all of our freshmen to keep going to your orientation gatherings. You'll have one today at 1:30. Keep meeting your freshmen, the other freshmen in your group, and your OA leaders. They're there to be your friends. They're there to be a resource for you. So keep going to those things. You'll also have the opportunity to have a tour of your classes today. So if you're confused about where one of your classes might be, you'll have the opportunity to visit that today. The last thing that I really want to encourage you to do is tonight we have virtual Playfair. Playfair has been an orientation tradition for many, many years. You should ask President Skogen about it. He did it when he was a Hope student. So that's how long it's been a tradition. And this year we get to do it virtually. It's really awesome because this will be the only time throughout orientation that the entire class of 2024 and all of our new students are able to be together. I'll be there, Adriana will be there, your OA leaders will be there, and we are so excited to try this new thing out and see what happens with it. You'll have the opportunity to meet so many people outside of your living cohort, some people that might be in your classes when they start on Monday. So we just encourage you to do that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for choosing Hope, and we'll see you later today, maybe during the school year. Bye, guys.